All right, this is Robert Forsch. I wanted to go live and show you the 5G computer-generated dream world. A bit ironic being in a car with a headset and headphones on, but I wanted it to be a thumbnail that communicates something I believe that's pretty important, and that being that a lot of people are living in an augmented reality. Like Cypher in the Matrix said, "Give me the Matrix, ignorance is bliss." Or is it? Do you want to live in reality or in a computer generated dream world? That's where a lot of people are. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that illustrate the impossibility of some of the things that we're told. What we're told doesn't, by the official authorities, do not reflect reality. This right here is photoshopped because it has to be. Okay. And I sent a shirt like that to Elon Musk. It's got the Cybertruck on the back as well. I'm on my way to Pawleys Island. It's about an hour and a half away from here. And I'm going to meet with a friend there. We've got up and down, not upside down in relationship to one another. So I've been talking about this for a while. It's a real wind chime. It's the reality of it. People can come on up here, take a picture of that, send it to anybody in the world. Water seeks level. That's what it does wherever it is, whether it's in a bird bath or the ocean that covers the face of the stationary Earth. Up and down, plumb and square. There would be no plumb and square anywhere on a spinning water ball hurling through space. So you could set a level like this on a surface and watch the sun move. That's kind of let's put that together right there. Set the level down and watch the sun move if you want to. It's, I could say that this level here has a magnet in the bottom on this side, not on this side. I could prove it to you. I'm not a magician. Now, will it stick here? It won't stick on these because they're aluminum. They wouldn't stick to a Tesla that's aluminum, or they wouldn't stick to a Tesla Cybertruck that's stainless, or the Falcon Heavy. Not going to stick to that either. The space programs of the world are interested in the space between your ears. It's a computer-generated dream world, is what it is. How about that? I'm telling on them. Now that's a little bit gross, but I want to explain something to you. The weather modification program that is putting particulate in the atmosphere, some know it as chemtrails, geoengineering. I know Greta Thunberg's all fired up about man-made global warming, but I'll tell you what's happening. It ain't a globe, and it's more computer-generated modification that's going on. We've got artificial intelligence that's modifying the environment for itself to create an interconnectivity with the electricity. The electricity as in the form of 5G, Wi-Fi, and all that. So like in the neighborhood that we live, right over there is a cell tower, okay? And then right through my bedroom window, there's a big finger and another cell tower right over there. So the reason why I mention that is simply because you can see cell towers all around. Now, today is May 3rd, and the sun came up over there, obviously, but in the summer it'll come up over there and then set over there. In the winter, it comes up over there, stays really low in the sky, and sets over there, clearly indicating that it's the celestial timepiece moving above the stationary and level Earth. Sun, moon, stars, wind. The wind isn't part of the celestial timepiece. However, the differentials in temperature caused by the sun and the moon having not only a different light spectrum, but a different effect on the temperature of the world. The sun warms, the moon cools. It's just the reality of it. I've tested it on different devices or different surfaces to prove that. I'm going to show you something real quick here. So the weather modification, well, let me just touch base on this a little bit. This is on my channel too. Beautiful, relaxing music. And Dean. Dean's our little kitty here, and Lily. The mirrors bounce the sunlight all around. Sun's up over there and it's bouncing off. I use the water jugs here to contain water that I'll bathe in. And I can update my status, watch a big screen TV, and clarify my body with the high-powered water. The water, when it doesn't have the particulate in, is really aggressive, so it works good for that. Works good for drawing the toxins out of the body, right, Dean? And then the plants draw a lot of, or they create a lot of oxygen in the environment. So I encourage people to take a closer look. Take a closer look at your reality. You know, what is it? Water fills its container. If you want a spherical shape, you got to have a spherical container when water's involved. When looking at the relaxing music videos and that's what the mountains do. The rock, the dirt, there's the, right there, the lights bouncing off of there. It's just the way it does. It's the way it does that. But that's what the earth is. God caused the features of the earth to rise out like a clay seal. Like when an emperor put his ring, his signet ring, stamp of authenticity on a document, like the creation, that's what the Creator did. The living word, the living water, the great I am. This is one of those family edition Holy Bibles. It was in the plastic when I got it from the Goodwill. I don't watch a lot of these movies now. I've seen them before, whether it's the movie The Firm or different movies like Men in Black, The Matrix, all of that, Minority Report. So I'll heat up the water on the stove here. 1/3 of the water will make it nice and hot for bathing. I'll fill it up on the washing machine so when it overflows, and it'll just go in there. This little tank wouldn't be sufficient for a bath, so I use a whole bunch of these to fill up. Borax and baking soda. Like today I had 1/4 cup of each. I brought it to a boil in this little stainless container here. This is how I make my coffee now. I can do it with fire if I want, heat it up with propane, and I use this one too, but I don't use the electrical feature. I heat it up in the pot, and some call it cowboy coffee. What I'll do is I'll bring it to a boil and then just let it steep there for maybe an hour or so, and then I'll pour it through here and put it in. Joni likes the mid-century modern vintage. Here's a picture of me motocross racing. I was interviewed and on Channel 11 TV when I was 14. That's a silhouette of my dad. Right, Dean? Dean is like one of the most curious cats. He's got some super cat skills. He loves chasing after the laser beam of the infrared thermometer that I've tested temperature with, like the temperature of the moonlight all of that. So there you go. I'm going to take us for a ride on out to Pawleys Island. Should be nice. This right here is a air filtration system. It's called an EcoQuest. It smells like the fragrance of a rain shower. After a rain shower where there's been lightning in that, because it has an electrostatic type of process. One more time, this is just such a basic thing. See how that's not moving much? And that is reality. Now watch the vanishing point over on the side here. There would be no plumb or level on a spinning water ball hurling through space. The reason when I'm in the bathtub, I'll lay on my back and I'll let the purified water, and sometimes like today with the borax and baking soda, go in my sinus passages, which mitigates some of the toxicity of the weather modification, the different aluminum, barium, strontium, but there's a bioelectric fungus that is self-replicating nanoparticles. This may be my last broadcast. I do have the library feature, or the library blockchain platform that my YouTube videos are on. However, my research library may get taken down. I don't know. I'm going to talk about that on my way on in. But once again here, that's kind of the idea. You get the bubble in the middle, just set it on a counter, and the sun will move. Now today it's going to do this. It's going to go right over like that and land over in that area. So if you like or don't like the way I'm driving, you can call me. I do like Tesla cars. The problem might be, Elon, open the pod bay door. Yeah, so like I hashtag snowplow on the Cybertruck comment, and it generated interest and pursuit of creating a factory snowplow for the Cybertruck. You don't have a full smackdown of the F-150 if you can't plow snow with it. You've just got a Mad Max. But anyway, with a plow, you can plow dirt with it too. I would want it to be stainless, and not only stainless, but fitting on the truck in such a way that you can drive the vehicle and flip it around like it stay on there the whole time, not just having it in the yard, but having it on the truck and it flip around and do its job. Tesla Racing, if you hashtag Tesla Racing, you'll find that these vehicles are absolutely amazing. I did order the tri-motor autonomous featured vehicle, and like I said, it's Photoshop because it has to be. I still believe that the Bible is ultimately the truth, the ultimate truth. God's word is true. All others are suspect. Here's where it gets kind of interesting. Some people will say, oh, you believe the Bible? I don't want to hear another word you got to say. And then other people will say, oh, you don't believe the Bible? I don't want to hear another word you have to say. So for some, I'm too biblical. For some, I'm too much into exposing the reality of the actual conspiracies. And some of the theories I'm not exactly sure on. There's a difference between believing and knowing. I have a lot of beliefs, and some may say, well, I have opinions. I'm just very vocal about what I believe to be true. And that's largely how that works. I'm not apologetic on any of this. I believe that it's important for people to make an educated choice on their eternity. Where will you spend it and why? That would be one of the biggest questions I believe any of us can ask and actually answer. Where will we be forever? That's a big deal. And I'm wanting to help people consider that. All right. So like when I drive around, I like to go ahead and actually just go the speed limit. I give myself plenty of time when I travel to do that. And the cruise control is an artificial intelligence technology. It works great. I use it. It was kind of sad this morning. I saw a duck walking that had a wing that looked like it was broken. He's got a limitation. Now, the reason why I bring that up is I wanted to talk about this as it relates to augmented reality, virtual reality. Some call it the computer-generated dream world. Imagine, if you will, you were blind. You could not see. And you could put on a pair of glasses that look cool like these Ray-Bans, but they've got little cameras that interface with your brain. So you would actually be able to see through the camera. That's part of how, like, Robert Downey Jr. is presenting on the official AI YouTube movies, the YouTube augmented reality and artificial intelligence, showing that people that have adaptive issues like mobility, maybe their brain doesn't cause their muscles to function properly, and then with an upgrade. I'm going to talk a bit about transhumanism and how that fits into artificial intelligence. Some people want to connect so sufficiently with the computer that they've got an augmented reality, a different perception of the world around us. One of the reasons that I mentioned the spitting in that, and it's kind of weird, I'll when I finish drinking my aggressive coffee with the coconut oil in here, that coffee that I told you about, then this will be a spittoon, and I'll rinse it out later. This is Wide Mouth repurposed Starbucks. There you go. Now I'm going to flip this around, just show you where we are. You know what? I don't have anybody behind me, so I'm going to just back up, and I want to show you something. This is our local bank, Anderson Brothers Bank. It's part of the world central banking system. The ATM is Anytime Money. And virtually, pun intended, our money, our purchasing power is basically generated. It's a debt-based slavery that's propped up by the military industrial complex. It's about to go mandatory of full digital, full auto, full retard. It's going to go full freaking beast system, compliance required, or you get no soup today. If you like the Out of Shadows movie is so interesting. Eddie Murphy is talking to Jerry Seinfeld. You maybe know who Seinfeld is. My dad called him Steinfeld. His whole life he called him Steinfeld. Dad, there's no T in there. It's Seinfeld. Anyway, he was talking about Sammy Davis Jr. and he says, yeah, Satan's more powerful than God. No, he's not. He's not, but my brother worked with Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I used to live in Hollywood. I'm that kind of guy that moved out there when I was young. My brother went out there when he was 16. I went out there, I was in my early 20s. But anyway, there's that's a whole different topic, but it's related to, there are people that are risk takers. I continue to do that. This is another thing that I wanted to tell you about and show you. So this is the Parkway Plaza right in front of our development here. and there's a vape lounge. A lot of people vaping, a lot of people smoking. There's liquor stores and taverns, and there are a lot of ways of living in an augmented reality, a computer-generated dream world. If you add contaminants to the body, to the brain, the perception can be sufficiently impaired that the deception that's promoted by this system will seem real to the deceived. And those that see the actual conspiracies are going to appear to be crazy to those that are deceived. Yeah. Wow. So what we're and the reason why that's important, and one of the reasons why I present what I do, is because I want to help be a bit of encouragement to press on. It's a fuel injected V8, not as quick as the 0 to 60 of 1.9 seconds apparently of the Roadster. Wow. That's quick. This car, I think 0 to 60 is maybe 13 seconds. Wow. Big difference. There's a Porsche Panamera across the way. Let me flip it around. I'm a car guy. I've been a car guy for a long time. But not just cars, motorcycles, high performance equipment, whatever it is. But like what I'll do then, just so you know, is I get to the speed limit. I'm trying to flip this around. There we go. I get up to the speed limit, and that's what I do. I just lock it in at the speed limit. The system knows how fast we're going through our devices. This is connected. This is an iPhone 10. It's connected through my iPhone 11 Pro Max 11. It's got I got those pieces of technology because that's what I use to do what I do. I'll do that. We're all swimming in a sea of electrosmog anyway. I want my exposure to be used for the maximum of accomplishing what I'm created to do. I could try and hunker down in some kind of a compound out in the middle of nowhere and don't talk to anybody, but why? Why would I do that? To live a little bit longer? I just want to do what I'm created to do. And then what I'll typically do is go right down the middle. I got lines on both sides. People will see the logos. It's really a lot about the views. Because of my persistence and enthusiasm, God has sovereignly seen fit to give me over 40 million views now. I did a video yesterday showing the beach in North Myrtle Beach at the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier. It was a beautiful day. A lot of people were out having fun, and there's a varying level of awareness of what's going on with the pandemic. That's part of the computer-generated dream world. Now, in the demographic of a lot of senior citizens, some of them are even wearing masks at the beach. Not a lot, but a few. There was a younger guy wearing a mask. One of my friends that works at the Prince Resort, I said, just so you know, when you're wearing a mask, because he was wearing one, I said, you'll be fine without it. In fact, you'll be better without it, because when you're rebreathing that spent exhaust from your body, that's not good for you. It's oxygen depleted, and it's got contaminants that are off-gassing from our respiratory system. That's why I won't be vaping, won't be smoking. I don't need any additional limitations on my physiology, and I most certainly don't want any brain fog. The thing with the borax baking soda solution, I'll do it a few times a week. Oh, I'm going to flip this around. It's a water park. That's what the water does. It's a liquid mirror. And the ocean is a sea level liquid mirror. The water purifies the world and the world we live in, which is also our body and our brain. The reverse osmosis drinking water system I showed you is the same technology that's used to perform dialysis on somebody that's got renal failure and need to have dialysis. What they'll do, and I've known about this for about 35 years, they'll take the reverse osmosis water, run it through a semi-permeable membrane next to the blood, which will draw, then that water draws the toxins out of the blood. This is my semi-permeable membrane. I scrub it, my whole epidermis, with the exfoliating gloves that will soak in the borax baking water solution, baking soda water solution, so it doesn't form a fungus. It's radiator, the blood and water liquid, the lymphatic system, all of that. I know a lot about a lot of things. It's not just that I believe it, I know it. And if you want to check it out, you can. When I hashtag topics, it's so that when you click on AI on my title, it'll take you all over the place. You'll see a lot of verifiable evidence of what I'm talking about. Now, when it gets to something like computer-generated dream world, that is Morpheus talking to Neo in the Matrix and me talking to you right now, saying much of humanity is living in a computer-generated dream world. We've got the woman in red, which a lot of men and women, I mean, there's same-sex attraction with men and women. I don't have that. Just so you know, Joni and I have been practicing social distancing for longer than I care to, like a lot of years. There's no interest there. This isn't a broadcast for children. What I'm saying in code, but I'll say more specifically, she doesn't want anything to do with me. And when I say anything, I mean anything and everything. Unfortunately, she's leaving me. And I tell you that because I'm not feeling sorry for myself, and I'm not putting out an advertisement for auditions for another Mrs. Forsch. One and done. We've got 3 adult sons. I would like her to wake up. I've been trying. I'm working on it. I can't make it happen. God may be hitting the snooze button for her. What I would say is the crucible of adversity of the life that I live has largely been what has created what you're looking at. A passion, purpose, eternal perspective, the power to do what I previously couldn't do, and the pleasure to enjoy it all, even though it's very unpopular. The truth isn't based on popular opinion. It's not popular and it's not an opinion. It's just simply the reality of the world we live in. Now, this is obviously water, right? Looks like it. It is. Now, if I were to say that this was water that was brought back from Mars by Elon Musk, you might say, you're living in a dream world, Robert. Well, we are living in a dream world. A lot of people believe the lies that we're being told. I don't have it handy right now, so I'm not going to be fishing around for it. I've got a red lens I've put on my camera, and I say it's we're on Mars now. That's kind of how ridiculous this is. Now, NASA, artificial intelligence, and this computer-generated dream world leaves nuggets and clues that they're lying, and I can show you, and if you don't want to believe it, you're not going to see it. Like the same silhouettes of Earth locations where they say it's Mars with a red lens, or astronauts that are being harnessed behind actronauts. They're all actronauts. They're pretending to be on the space station. When Elon Musk was trying to, when he was almost ready to lose Tesla as his car company, he has a private company called SpaceX, space exploration, and he got a $1.2 billion contract as documented by, I believe it was Bloomberg, a documentary I show on my channel. I said, wow, for $1.2 billion, I could have done that with a pickup truck, supply the International Space Station. Like I say, the space they're interested in is between your ears. When I am bathing in that purified water, I'll keep my eyes open, and it draws the toxins out of the eyeballs, goes into the ears, into the sinus passages. That bioelectric self-replicating nanoparticle fungus is like a hydrogel. The spit that will show up in here is nasty, of course, but it's different than like a cowboy spitting tobacco in a spittoon. I'm putting all real healthy stuff, liquefied fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, in a mixture that's super nutritious. Chia seeds, apple cider vinegar, honey, mixed berries, broccoli, spinach, all of this super healthy stuff. Hemp hearts are a great protein replacement if you're not getting meat, and you don't want to. That's fine. I'm not a vegan, and I'm not anti-vegan. I could easily be a vegan, and I might be a vegan anyway, because they're killing off and euthanizing meat production plants, and burying the animals instead of bringing them to market. Why would they do that? Well, they've got their mystery meats and their fabricated, synthetic grown, lab grown meats. I'm not going to be eating that shite. Oh, by the way, David Icke, who has done a lot of great work exposing much of the reality of the world we live in, his channel got taken down. How about that? Hashtag David Icke. So when you go to my research library is not limited to my 2 playlists, and they're not the same. There's different contents there. I can show you my liked video playlist if I do a live broadcast and I scroll through the videos, but that all the liked video playlists got made private. Now I saw this guy on the left here. You see him? Wow, there's very few cars on the road. Can you see him now? You know what he is? He's a state trooper observing me going the speed limit. Was that any surprise? He's got no reason to pull me over. My lights are on, my car's insured. I'm all licensed and stickered up appropriately. I'm not doing anything illegal. All right, so where in the heck was I in all of this? Oh, David Icke. So he's been exposing this. His channel got taken down, but one of the reasons why I'm so vocal about, go ahead and hashtag my name is because I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Now, here's a state trooper on the left side of the road in the shadows for people over there. How about that? Just to let you know, I'm not freaked out about that. I'm fine with us being policed up. The thing that I want to let you know is there's a lot of vulnerability that we have. All they would need to say is there's when I was on my way to the Dallas conference, the Flat Earth conference, there was a silver alert for a Lexus Lexus LS 430 or something. I'm in a black Lexus LS 400. The silver alert is for a senior citizen that's lost their mind, apparently. It's or they're having difficulty. They're not supposed to be driving a car. They got in a car and they're off and they're driving around. They either have Alzheimer's, dementia, some type of a mental impairment. That's why I'm so passionate about bathing in the drinking water. It draws the toxins, the heavy metals out of the body. Now, there are some people that say, Borax is bad. No, it's not bad. They put boron in pill form. The box that I showed you was $4.50, and it's like over 4 pounds. I think it's maybe 6 or 7 pounds of boron. Anyway, I tell you that because this all matters. All of this matters. So I won't be putting aluminum deodorant under my arms by my lymph nodes. The whole system of control integrates allopathic medicine, which is funded by the pharmaceutical industry, trained and controlled by pharmaceutical representatives that now are in public office. How did Nancy Pelosi go from a meager net worth to over $100 million apparently? How does that happen? And you may be a Trump fan. You don't get to be a billionaire and a president of the United States by not playing the game. So you may be queuing it up thinking Q is going to save the world. I'm not buying it. The system of control doesn't mind throwing a bunch of pedophile human traffickers under the bus to present itself as a benevolent leader. Artificial intelligence is more like the Terminator. I'll be back. How about that? So I've got a friend that told me to never call her again. She was in our wedding. Hopefully she's listening now. I'm not upset with you. Call back anytime if you want. I've got a limited appeal. I'm an acquired taste. And so the reason why I say that is people will say that, and it's kind of weird. Joni told me yesterday, don't ever talk to me again. It's like, okay. But we talked last night. I said, did you want some grilled chicken? I made some grilled chicken, and it was great. With some mesquite flavoring wood chips. It was kind of funny because I was mowing the lawn and she said, do you know what the expiration date was on that peanut butter? I said, no. I said, it's probably a couple years expired. She said, double that. And I said, well, you can put it in the refrigerator and I'll eat it later. And she said, you know what Dee said? I said, I don't care what Dee said. She was talking to a friend that was going to try and manage my food inventory. Joni wants to bounce information off of other people. I don't care what other people have to say when I know it is irrelevant to me. It doesn't mean I won't consider new information. I was mowing the lawn and I'll eat the peanut butter later. That's kind of my point about this. I'm not upset with Joni. I'm not upset with Dee. And I'm not upset with my friend in California that says I'm redundant and blah, 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 blah. And I'm deceived. She believes we live on a spinning water ball hurling through space. And I've talked to her about it for the last 4 years, saying it's not even possible. It's not even possible to do that. She's living in an augmented reality, even though she doesn't watch much TV. Remember, there would be no level anywhere, ever, on a spinning water ball hurling through space. So don't think you can school me on scientific issues when you may bring some truth to the table. I'll give you that. However, if you believe we live on a spinning water ball and you're going to tell me about cosmological issues, I'm going to say I'm not buying it. The temperature of the thermosphere and whatever, I'm not buying it. How do you know? How do you know? We have 3 adult children. We had thermometers. Sometimes it didn't work. They didn't want it in their mouth, so we had to put it somewhere else. Now they've got ear temperature thermometers. I've got an infrared thermometer. I can tell you the temperature of my engine block or show you the differential between the temperature of moon shade and moonlight. So there's a lot of empirical evidence that can expose the reality of the world we live in and the deceivers. There is a video that's called The Secret Covenant, and it talks about how they would toxify the food water, air, medicines, and the information, and that those that see this conspiracy would be viewed as crazy by the rest of the world, who is in fact deceived. Oh well, it's on my channel, however long it'll be able to stay up there. So up until December the 5th of 2019, when I liked a video, it was shared tens of millions of times. Conservatively, I've got a photo album that's cross-pollinated with my liked videos playlist. If you come across a link that I've shared that's expired or not visible because the content no longer exists, it's very likely my private liked video playlist. For years, I've been encouraging my friends and family to like videos and to make that liked videos playlist publicly viewable, visible. Okay, the reason why this is important is I actually met a Google executive out on the point in Cherry Grove. This is all verifiable. The AI knows it. It knows I'm talking about it. It's viewing it. Now with the lockdown, there really aren't as many people monitoring the feeds. So this live feed, although it's visible and people are liking and commenting on it now, it very likely may not be posted and visible for viewing later until maybe a dozen hours from now. That's okay. It's just the way that it is. It's more fully automated by the parameters mentioned on YouTube. That's how they're doing it. They're removing some of the human factor out of this. I tell you that because that's just the way that it is. I've got a proclivity and a predilection. I don't even know if that's the right word for it, but I like the sound of that word. Hey, when I was a kid in school, if I heard a word I didn't know, I would look it up in the dictionary, encyclopedia. When I got Google and the internet, I was just all over it. And there's a lot of deception there. However, there's a lot of truth there too. And then some will condescendingly say, oh, you became a flat earther because you saw it on a YouTube video. You watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Well, all the networks, London Guardian, BBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, Fox News, they're all on YouTube. All of them. So, there you go. Yeah, it's all there. Mostly all there. However, it used to be when I would hashtag my name and then post my search results on Facebook or link it in a YouTube video, you could see the thousands of results. Not anymore. That changed a couple weeks ago. Now it just shows that it's a Robert Forsch search. Isn't that special? It used to be that you could compare your search result with my search result. For example, my friend in California, when she hashtagged my name live, when I was on the phone with her, when we were still talking, she said, oh, I found 3,300 results. I said, well, I've got like 3,631 results. Where are those other 300 results? What are they? You know, my Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and many of my hashtags are not visible to her. Because why? I don't know. How is that? So my work around the censorship was years ago hashtagging my name. Am I self-promoting? It may appear that way. I just want people to make an informed choice on their reality. Where will you spend forever? Do you really think the real you is the earth suit that you can see in the mirror? I don't believe it is. I believe there's way more. There's a spirit and soul, a mind. Apparently, the architects of this New World Order have launched themselves into the cloud. I'm inserted into the cloud right now. I'm on the cloud right now. How about that? Being all my facial expressions and my vocal projection is all being measured, monitored, threat assessed, and evaluated. Is this my last live broadcast? Could be. Now, apparently, this is the first time I've been able to go over this bridge and go further. I haven't gone down this way since this road project got completed or furthered. I just went over 544 in Surfside, and I'm on my way to Pawleys Island. This is the Highway 31 extension. Where I got on in Longs was at Highway 9. By the way, just around the corner we had a armed break-in, a home invasion, within a mile or so from our house. So I have, when we're in for the night, I have the doors secured very well. Joni said, "You're paranoid." I said, "No." No, not at all. I'm an enemy of the state. I don't want somebody kicking in the door and paying a visit that I haven't requested. Just so you know, my phone number is on my door. If you're a sheriff or you're military and you are listening to this broadcast now or when it's posted later, or you just happen to engage your thinking and go, "Oh, I've got a warrant for his arrest" or something, and you see my sticker on the door, give me a call. If you see my car in the driveway, I'm probably in there, but not necessarily. I might be out on the motorcycle or I might be walking around. I say that because I do not consent to a vaccine or a testing for the supposed COVID. I'm outing that. Now, like Jim Carrey did the all-mocking tongue on the Jimmy Kimmel show. Yeah, I want people to be hip to this. Come on, Jimmy. You're in the Illuminati and all these other people are in the Illuminati. Come on, come on. Yeah, I'm telling on this whole thing. We're in the midst of a live drill right now. A few years ago, we had Jade Helm. Jade Helm? I believe it was Jade Helm 15. Wow, that's like 4 years ago. I think that's when it was, but it's the Mastering the Human Domain or something like that. Well, we've got military all over the place. Apparently right now the Trudeau said no more AR-15s in Canada. I know some Canadians that are weaponed up. Yeah, so does AI. AI knows every weapon that was legally purchased and registered. Yeah, how about that? That's okay. I am a Second Amendment proponent, and I encourage everybody to not only have firearms for hunting, home protection. I encourage people to know how to use them. Now, keep in mind, one of the reasons why law enforcement will say, "I need to see your hands." I've heard that said. Yeah, I have been arrested. That's okay. That was a long time ago. But the reason why they want to see the hands are weapons. You can put somebody's eye out with a finger, a thumb. You can knock somebody's windpipe flat with this right here. It's called the Alma bone. Target focus training is actual training. I've got videos for that on my channel. A hit to the windpipe, elbow to the sternum, and a knee to the groin can knock somebody out like that. Why is that important? Well, it's pretty doggone important because sometimes a weapon may not be able to be deployed quick enough to stop to cause an injury. Yeah, a projectile, a knife, an edged weapon, or a piece of lead can cause an injury. So can a hand. In a hurry, just like that. So There's tracking, tracing, threat assessing, and I believe I turned the wrong way. Yes, I do. Not sure. I'm going to go just a little bit further. But the reason why I mentioned that is because even if I had no weapon on me, I am a weapon. We all are. What kind of a weapon and used by who? Some are a weapon of mass instruction. Some are weapons of mass deception, like the Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Then we've got comedians and actronauts. I want to show you something. See that massive tower there? That's pretty powered up. I think that's worth a visit. Totally. I'm going to pay it a visit. I got the green arrow. How nice. How nice. Okay, here we are. Now, this, what I want to show you here is actually a product that I saw how they were made. AT&T had these made with insulated wire reinforced panel. This is like 3.5 inches of concrete on both sides of a steel reinforced panel. We just had a climate control system turn on, and that is the tower there. Now these also have generators typically. This is an AT&T. So I'm just going to show you some of the official stuff. I'm not doing anything wrong or illegal. I'm just showing you. The FCC is controlling this, and it's controlled by the commission that it's controlling. That says diesel fuel only on it underneath there. I'm trying to zoom in. There it is. Okay, so that's a generator. Uh-oh. What's going on here? There we are. Trying to close this up. And I wanted to show you this because this is all official stuff. Radiation beyond this point, I'm getting zapped by this right now. Big time. So look at the wiring on that. That's pretty substantial, and it's grounded, and look at how it's mounted. It needs to be because we're in a hurricane zone. And now it looks like we've got another development going in here. This is a beautiful area to live. And just so you know, see the white vehicles with ladders and waves in them? Those looked like painters, okay? However, there's a lot of white vans that are brand spanking new, and they don't have logos on them. What do you think they're installing? A little 5G maybe? That's 5th generation technology. It's got multiple frequencies and gigahertz, or I'm starting to say things that I don't really know all the complete data, because I don't know the amount of electricity, power, and reach of those. I do know that satellite technology is actually right there. I've got a nephew who makes satellites. How about that? How about that? He makes a lot of money too. How about that? My wife says, yeah, satellites are real. I said, I understand there's stuff that flies around above us that can take pictures and provide internet. It doesn't mean it's like the science fiction with the paparazzi satellite following the computer generated satellite. They're making this stuff up. So I wanted to put all of this kind of in the shot. Let's see. I think you get the idea. I'm glad now I just need to figure out where the heck I am. Okay, so the sun's there. It came up over there. I drove from over there, and I need to go down over there. I can typically look at where the sun is, and the sun or the moon, if I know when the sun rise and set is, and I do typically, I can know within a few minutes what time of day it is. Within a few minutes, normally. It's not that special, it's just the reality of it. So before we had Fitbits and Apple Watches, we had the sun, moon, and stars would tell us the seasons, the phases of the moon, the time of the year, and all of that. So I could back out. I would prefer to drive out. Makes sense, doesn't it? There's a lot of ways we can do things. I've been wanting to do things better as long as I can remember. I wanted to know how things work as long as I can remember. It's just the way that I've been. Yeah, this is Highway 707, and I'm going to be headed towards Paulie's. Oh, I got a yellow. Woohoo! And it's fun doing it that way. It lets people know, it communicates something. I am on a mission. I am a man with a lot of passion, enthusiasm, and I want people to make an informed choice on your reality for your eternity. Wow, that's a cool place. Now we've got a lot of gift shops around here, a lot of souvenir places. This is a lovely area. And it's got a rather temperate climate, pretty nice. The big body of water that covers the face of the earth is a bit of a climate control or it stabilizes the temperature. The coastal regions are largely where a lot of the temperature convergence takes place. So there's a coastal, how would I say, a coastal weather system that's very different than the Midwest, obviously. A lot of difference than the deserts of the world. Welcome to the desert of the real. as Morpheus said to Neo. So some people want to live in this computer-generated dream world, and that's certainly their prerogative. I would think Steve Jobs, with the resources that he has, is listening to me right now if he wanted to. I don't know. Some component of the AI is. Somebody had to put their hands on that shirt that I sent to Elon in a document tube, airmailed through FedEx, with my YouTube Truth and Tesla racing stickers. I wanted to let him know that I'm exposing the whole space fakery and artificial intelligence as the threat that it is. Now, I want to show you another form of tower right there. And then I'm looking at two more towers. They're all over the place. You can check it out. You can make it a thing if you want to. They're all over the place. Now, I've got a friend that I talk to face from time to time. He believes we came from aliens. I said, well, how many aliens does it take to screw in that light bulb of creation? He says the Bible is a fairy tale. I said, so you've got aliens that created a world that we live in and they can't create a book? Come on, what kind of aliens do you have? So I kind of joke with them. We joke back and forth, but the reality is just the truth. whatever that actually is. So the Bible talks about God's children, which I am one of, being foreigners and aliens in this land. And then there are fallen angels that are viewed by much of humanity as aliens, grays and alien grays. And then there's the MUFON and different organizations that are exploring the events of Roswell, New Mexico, Area 51, and all of that. So when I stormed Area 51 last year, I did it digitally. I sent my liked video playlist, which now doesn't work for everybody else, only for me. I can see it. But the reason why I mention that is I actually have the cell phone number and sent it to the guy that had the Quonset hut with the alien out there. And then Matty Roberts I messaged to. He was another one of the event promoters. And they're doing a different thing. I believe they're not obviously biblical creationists. By their own admission, look more like Satanists. By the way, any alternate to biblical Christianity is Satanism, just dressed up in different different window dressing. The Catholic Church are Satanists. The people baking cakes and having bake sales and grease pig contests, like I grew up attending at the St. Patrick's Church in Stevensville, Wisconsin. They're not going to see themselves as Satanists, of course. Aleister Crowley, Anton LaVey, Jack Parsons, they knew they were Satanists. Jack Parsons, JPL Laboratory, L. Ron Hubbard, Babylon Working. Do you know what any of that stuff is? You probably should look that up. Operation Paperclip, Nazi scientists, the Vril Society, coming on over to the United States and working with the space program with Walt Disney, the CIA, the FBI, the artificial intelligence, DARPA, all of that. So I'll invite my friends to like the official DARPA Google pages. I want them to be aware of what they're telling the rest of humanity. Made sense to me. It's part of the sorting process. By nature, the truth is divisive. So some of my associated profiles decided they didn't want to be associated anymore when I showed official SpaceX videos and official NASA videos. I mean, I can share thousands and thousands of videos. I want their authentic, authorized videos to be visible to people that can see the fakery that they're presenting the rest of humanity. And then I'll do a broadcast like this, and I'm going to decode it, and I'm going to expose it. So that's just what I'll do. Because I can. And so this talking that I'm doing right now will later be up on the library platform, probably on BitChute. I've got people that create playlists from my videos. The Local Sun video has been seen almost 1 million times, shared over 20,000 times. It was on Infinite Earth, Flat Earth Research, and shared through a lot of groups. And I know a lot of people will say, that doesn't prove anything. Well, to me, it proves that a little cloud can block out the sun, and there are different aspects of lighting. Like, I'll shoot the high-powered light beam in the sky towards the moon, and you can see there's not a bunch of light around it. It's all dark until I shoot that light in the sky. And then when it's not the pollen season, but there's a lot of particulate blowing around, nanoparticulate, it's the weather modification, weather and people modification raining down on us. Murrells Inlet. I'm on my way. South Georgetown. I think I need to go this way. I do. Bike Week should be coming up soon. The first Bike Week, I've been riding around on both the Black Bike Week, as it's called, by some, Memorial Day, and then the first, or the Harley Bike Week. I've been doing it for years. I've got a Honda VT500, and I've got some serious skills for automotive, marine, like jet ski racing, boat racing. I haven't done a lot with high-powered boats because I haven't had one. They're really expensive, but I can get in or on almost anything with the motor and operate it. Heavy equipment included. Marine travel lift, moving boats, big boats. My dad sold steel to Oshkosh Truck and marine travel lift in Sturgeon Bay. He sold steel to Manitowoc Engineering. I knew about tunnel boring machines, underground tunnel boring machines that they put on locomotives back in the early 70s, before I knew anything about a military industrial complex. My dad looked like the actor for Get Smart, wore a blue suit and was a commercial steel salesman par excellence. I mean, he was great. He was great at what he did. He sold steel to major corporations. With Oshkosh Truck, the new MRAP vehicles that we see, those military carriers, or it's an MRAP. And they've got, I believe, 125 kW of electricity they can produce. So they can pull up and power up a hospital, any facility that's wired for that. And you got to know they're wired for that. They are. Many of them, the stores, the Walmarts, they're all set up. They could pull an MRAP. Let's say when we had Hurricane Matthew, the generator at the Gator Hole Plaza in NMB went down. They lost a lot of food. I did a video called Seafood, and I said, see no food. All the refrigerated food coolers were cleared. They were empty, and the store was open. It's an unusual thing to see that then, but now we're starting to see the disruption. Elon the disruptor, AI is also the disruptor. Elon, AI, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Sundar Pichai. I mean, all the architects of the artificial intelligence. I don't know what kind of interconnectivity they actually have with the internet. I do too. I do as well. The thing that happened with me is I thought I was born again in 1982 when I found the Mark of the Beast system in the Book of Revelation. Just a few days after I was born again, I found that, and I'm like, whoa. I got to tell you about a dream that I had when I was about 7 years old. And it was very interesting. It involved barcodes, supermarkets, and an apocalyptic kind of setting before I had seen any apocalyptic predictive programming that I was aware of. I wasn't aware of any. I know one of my favorite movies was The Time Machine, but I don't think they had that in there then. I mean, I remember the dinosaurs and the big insects and all of that. But the reason why I tell you about this is I don't know if there was something going on where it was kind of like a dream or a dream vision, maybe, that was looking into the future. See, as far as I know, I've been a child of God my whole life. I was just born again in 2014 on Reformation Day, or Halloween, as the blood-drinking, human-sacrificing, and torturing Satanists celebrate their Druid satanic holiday. And they sweeten up the deal with candy distribution and masks. We're in a ritual right now. A lot of people wearing masks. We've got a lot of people in an augmented reality. They don't know what they don't know. and I include myself in that. I don't know what I don't know. I know enough to know that there's there's a grand illusion all around us. There's a computer-generated dream world that's created with the addition of artificial intelligence and the technology that we utilize to access it. I use the heck out of it. My friend that believes we came from aliens said, "You keep talking negative about technology." I said, "I'm just using the danger of it. I use it every day. It's my digital pitchfork to expose the reality of our tyranny, the tyranny that's enslaving humanity. Government to control the mind. It's a mind control program. CIA, FBI, DARPA, NSA. It's not that they're watching me. They're watching everybody. It's not one agency, it's all of them. It's all the interconnectivity of the control system. The left-right paradigm with libertarian in the middle, potentially or supposedly. It's all a control mechanism. So there you go. So this right now is just a beautiful drive down Highway 17. To the left of us, over this group of trees, is the ocean. We had pirates running the water, Blackbeard and more. Shipwrecks and doubloons. Every once in a while, gold coins get pumped up onto the beach with the beach renourishment process. I knew this was going to be a nice long drive to Pawleys Island. It's a beautiful place. Charleston is like about 2.5 hours from where I live. I've gone there to get my AirPods. How about that? So the day I got my AirPods, I've got a trooper coming right up. There he is. Oh, he's a sheriff. Apparently they're the good guys in the police network. Supposedly, I'd like to think so. There's actually, sheriffs have a different designation and responsibility. Before I talk about more than I know, I just know they can disrupt some of the New World Order. They represent, it's interesting. You can look up the sheriffs. I've heard talks of it. Anyway, my AirPods Pro, I met a hedge fund manager from Sweden at the Charleston Apple Store, and his two teenage sons and his wife, and I was able to give them a couple of stickers. The sheriff just left and is driving on in. It'll be interesting to see. He might have wanted to get behind me. I don't know. I'm just very aware of my surroundings. It's justifiable concern. I am an enemy of the state. You can see that movie with, I believe it was, let's see, Gene Hackman, I believe. Enemy of the State. And then there was Conspiracy Theory. It might have been Conspiracy Theory with Gene Hackman. And then there's one with Will Smith and Enemy of the State, I think it was. Yeah. And then there's the movie, I believe it was Chain Reaction, with the formula to synthesize hydrogen from water, H2O. Electrolysis, if it's operated with abundant, clean, free solar energy, can create a clean burning fuel that you can cut rock or melt steel with. It's called hydroxygen, HHO. All of this is verifiable. I could do a 12-hour, just short of 12 hours. That's the longest that YouTube will archive. I could say this is some of what I know. It's not all of what I know, but it's a lot. I'm not going to do that today. I've got a friend to meet, and I'm in Pawleys Island now. So I might find a cool place to pull over and I've got my, the way that I did this right now, I've got a friend I'm meeting up with here, and he was going to message me as to where he's got a rather large subscription base on YouTube, and I don't know if we're going to go live later on, and I don't believe he's spent much time in front of the camera, so I'm going to keep his identity anonymous for right now, and I'll mention later whatever if I'm able to meet up with them today. Sometimes plans change, so I hadn't talked to him to confirm the location, so I don't know that I for sure have the meeting, but I've enjoyed the drive. I enjoy the ride. So right now with augmented, I'm going to say with artificial intelligence, if I were to want to employ AI to actually create a video of all my live feeds, to condense it down to maybe the funniest or the most profound moments of what I'm expressing, it could totally do that. Because I've pretty much told a lot of my life story on my videos. It's pretty fascinating. It involves successfully surviving a suicide attempt in 2005 whilst on Prozac and Depakote, which have a high morbidity rate around them. So that's why I won't take any mood-altering chemicals like pharmaceuticals, because they made me suicidal and homicidal. And what I found out is proper nutrition and reducing toxic exposure to corrupt data and corrupt body contaminants like personal hygiene products. I won't be snorting anything, vaping anything that's not healthy for me. I won't be doing that. I don't need to. I saw a sign that said public park. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to probably go towards the ocean. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do instead. Oh, it looks like I'm at a hotel here, maybe. Let's see. It looks like one, like an Econo. Yeah, it's a Best Western. It's empty. Wow, maybe Polly's hasn't opened up their hotels yet. We've got governors that are wreaking havoc in this world economy, in this live drill that we're in. So it's pretty quiet. Now, at first, when I first saw the sprayers in Wuhan, China, fogging the streets, they looked like military equipment with massive foggers. I thought, wow, are they spraying a contagion or a disinfectant? Are they actually putting out some, like a sarin, or are they putting out Clorox or something in between? Who knows? How can I know? What I've found, yeah, the village shops and the hammock, all that is over to the left. That's where the ocean is. I've got to look for a good drive down to the ocean. I'll find that. I'm going to flip this around and let you see what it looks like. This is a beautiful, quaint little area. The Grand Strand is about 60 miles of South Carolina coastline that gets about 20 million guests a year, at least last year. That won't happen this year because of what's going on. So this is the North Causeway. That should take me down to the ocean, I believe. I can smell Georgetown. It's the paper processing sulfur. I grew up I was born in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, at the foot of the second largest freshwater lake other than the Great Lakes. Lake Okeechobee in Florida is bigger. Wow, this is interesting here. Yeah, so this is more of a private community setting. Oh, Pawleys Island Nature Park. Cool. Over this way. So Georgetown is that way. That's where the wind is coming from, and that's where the cardboard smell. I believe International Paper is there. We can see that this is tidal affected because of the wet. Very beautiful. Higher is drier, lower is wetter. We need the wetlands to handle the tidal activity. Elevation will do that. In Cherry Grove, we've got a lot of houses on stilts. They're up higher. That's the sound of a red-winged blackbird. When I was a child, I went BB gun. I took my BB and pellet gun hunting, and I shot some birds. They would have been dead by now anyway. That was like 45 years ago. Now I enjoy shooting them with the camera. I've got eagles and all kinds of wildlife, pelicans on my videos. I've got an eagle catching flying from some trees and catching a fish right out of the surf. You can see it. It's linked to my my Facebook where the thumbnail of the eagle is there. I linked the videos. That's where I did linking of videos, my YouTube channel and my photo album. And then I would copy and paste that link into content like the local sun video that was shared over 20,000 times. So when you've got 20,000 shares of tens of thousands of occurrences, you've got tens of millions. Thousands of thousands is millions. That's just how it works out. It doesn't mean that everybody is aware of it. I'm just showing it. So wherever the area is that you can get out and enjoy nature, enjoy the creation, God's fingerprints, his handiwork is seen within creation. That's why the nature of our world is so important in being able to see it, being able to enjoy it. So even on my channel, YouTube Truth, you can see right now, like on the TV where I was showing you earlier in the broadcast, that was above Norway. And I've got apparently Antarctica there too in time lapse with all kinds of observatories and a pole and a sign that says that's Antarctica. Obviously, there's a welcome center there. That's got to be Antarctica. Well, not necessarily. Pirates don't fly or historically didn't always have the skull and crossbones up. They may have a flag of a country that was trustworthy and friendly, and then right before they board the ship to rape, pillage, and steal, the skull and crossbones would go up. Arr! Yeah, and then you're in trouble. It's too late. You're probably going to die if that's the case. But we've got different pirates now. They're billionaires, and then we've got the law enforcement and military that have been asked to do illegal things to and immoral things to the rest of humanity. So the police forces and militaries of the world are they're paid salaries to do things. And when you collapse an economy and then you have opportunity to get training by the military to be a dentist, to be a doctor, to work with artificial intelligence or whatever, and the government is going to pay your way to do that, that's the way they can get a lot of cooperation. So instead of having a draft where people are mandated to serve the military, why not just collapse the economy and provide an opportunity to get an income and training? Isn't that special? That's how they roll. They may find me entertaining. I mean, I'm working on new material all the time to help us have somewhat of a humorous way of looking at our enslavement. It's just the way it is. You know, I'm not all doom and gloom. The great news is that since I'm actually born again, I enjoy life even though it can be really challenging. A lot of smiles, a lot of waves, a lot of laughter. It's just the way it is for me. So I'm going to take us a little bit further here. So signs here for vacation rentals. Beautiful area. And these houses are elevated too, for obvious reasons. So like when I was at the cell tower there, I wanted you to consider the RSG panel construction or 3D panel construction. It's a concrete construction that's lightweight, extremely energy efficient, and it's way more durable than the wood structure. So the reason why I mention that is in the equation of energy consumption, the steel reinforced insulated concrete construction takes about half the energy to climate control. So if you have an electric car in a concrete house, you can take your energy savings and drive your car with it. And it's basically disaster resistant, fireproof, can withstand winds of over 300 miles an hour, earthquake proof, you can't shoot a 50 caliber sniper rifle. The bullet's about that long. It's about 7 inches long, I think it is, like a Barrett 50 caliber. It won't shoot through 8 or 9 inches of concrete. Won't do that. 2 layers of steel reinforced 9,000 PSI concrete. That's what that stuff is made out of, similar to that technology. It's probably not that thick there, but it's like building a home that would be a fortress, but they don't want peasants with fortresses and weapons. No. They want people vulnerable living in wood homes that can be penetrated by electronic technology. See, the thing with a concrete home, you might not be able to get cell signal and cellular. This may not work in a concrete home. However, you could have an antenna on your roof and a little antenna inside your home if you wanted to. but there are probably, you could use wired connections. That's before I had a wireless router for my computer. What I had was 100-foot cord that I could connect my computer with. It was maybe not 100-foot. I think it was 50 feet, but it was Ethernet cord. I would just plug my computer in. It was fast, and I didn't have any wireless there. The ringing in my ears started when cell towers came into the sleepy little agricultural community we lived in Reedfield, Wisconsin. Beautiful little rolling countryside. I've got to get some pictures of that I can show you. It was built with 2x4 construction, actual sawn lumber with a 2x4, actual 2x4 inches of oak timbers, and more. And other building, big beams. It looks like I might, oh yeah. Yep, I could tell I was getting pretty close to the ocean. Looks like I can walk out here. Wow, looks like somebody is not leaving. Well, maybe I can pull up here. That would be nice. Maybe. Looks like awesome. Wow, they've got some railroad tie separators. Wow. Interesting. So here are tide tables. That's kind of nice. We're in May right here. I use the one on my phone. Yeah, I think that's a little better. I don't know. I want to get a cleaner lens, I think. Let's see. Yeah, that's all right. Boy, this is nice and new. See, in different areas of the country and world, some of the so I wanted to keep on walking. Now this looks like it's been recently renourished. I believe it was. That happened up by us. They vacuum sand off the bottom of the ocean several miles out, and then they pump it up on the beach with bulldozers. Good morning. Great. What a beautiful day, huh? Oh yeah. Hey, you're on a live broadcast right now. Yeah, let me give you a sticker. You can see it later. What's your name?
Chris Ryder.
Hey, nice to meet you, Chris.
And what is truth?
Well, there's the truth, and then there's everything else. So I've got a whole lot of powerful documentaries and beautiful, relaxing music video from around the world. You might enjoy it.
Okay, I'll look at truth.com.
Well, if you hashtag my name, Chris, you'll see that I've got a lot of different social media involvement, and that's how you'll be able to find my channel with hashtagging my name. You know how to put a pound sign in to hashtag, right? Yeah, you just put the pound sign in and then my name. And are you joking or serious? Okay, I didn't know. Oh, that sardonic. I love sardonic humor, Chris. And that's an anytime number.
Are you from down here, Bob?
I am. I am. Well, actually, we live up in the North Myrtle Beach area, and I can put us both on here. So what happened was I'm meeting a friend out here in Pawleys Island.
Okay.
Not sure where we're gonna meet up yet. When I left, it was a little bit early, and I just left him a message to give me a location to meet up. And
Okay.
wow, this is a beautiful area. I've not been on the beach right here before.
It's the best. I come here every morning.
Wow. So you live local then, huh?
Yeah, over here in Pawleys.
Nice, nice. Wow. Yeah, it looks like it was renourished last year, right?
Yeah. They spent a lot of time on it. I don't think they've got the parking lot finished at the end yet, but they brought all this in and renourished it, and the line was up pretty close to the houses last year.
Oh yeah. You mean the surf came up pretty close?
Oh, yeah. It was coming right up to the walkway there.
Well, that'll knock them down.
Yeah.
If you get a storm then too.
Yeah.
Wow, they must have spent a few months out here, right?
Yeah. We're real blessed that they did this. Just don't tell anybody. We don't need any more people.
Hey, right now there's not a whole lot of people here, is there?
No. This is a social distancing thing from. Are there 15 people on the beach?
Oh yeah, we're quarantining here in Pawleys. Hey, nice to meet you, Chris.
That's the highlight of my day.
Ah, no kidding. Well, I'll tell you what. Like I said, that's an anytime number. I'm going to be down in the area for a bit. You come out here for sunsets too, right?
Mostly sunrise.
So let's see if I can. Do you think the sun will set over right about there today?
Yeah. It'll come right over the creek.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Well, pleasure to meet you, Chris. Thank you so much. Well, that was the highlight of my day so far too, and that's nice. So I'm going to show you a little bit. This whole beach here looks a lot different than the beach up by us, for sure. I've got many hours of beach renourishment video on my channel too that you can see. Some of it I actually inverted it to show the impossibility of the globe, the upside down world. There we go. So right in the middle of the view, I'll zoom in as I can. I believe we're looking at Myrtle Beach right there. So when I did the video yesterday afternoon, I was in North Myrtle Beach, and what we're looking at in the middle of the view was about 30 miles away from there. So that's kind of how it works. This is the, now if let's zoom out a bit. Georgetown is down around on the other side over there, I think, or maybe right over there, and Charleston beyond that. So this has been awesome. I appreciate you watching, liking, sharing. I'm gonna just go ahead and let the waves and the breeze do the talking for a little bit, and I'm just gonna contemplate on what I would like to say next. One of the things that I had noticed is the water is a lot cleaner with a lot fewer guests, but the bank accounts for a lot of people are a lot cleaner too, or they're a lot emptier. And then, like, for a lot of the people here, they're obviously in a situation where it's either a retirement home or retirement situation, a second home, or a property rental. Could be any of those. So I think what I'm going to do for now is go ahead and say thanks so much for watching, liking, sharing. Feel free to reach out anytime. There you go. Thank you so much.